Okay. Okay, let's scroll through the market. Here and here as well. Okay, good afternoon, guys. I think that everything is working. If it's not, please let me know in the chat down below. I'm going to wait for a little bit to see if some more people are joining in. If you have any questions, make sure to leave that in the chat down below as well. And in this session, we are mainly going to cover some quick analysis around mainly the dollar index, because I do think that I can frame a pretty clear bias going into the remainder of the week. And today is going to be the crucial daily closure that is going to indicate what we will be looking for. Is it going to be continuation sells, or are we going to look for buys? In the meantime, I'm also curious on what you guys would think. Are we going lower? Are we going higher? Please let me know so that we can talk about it. Of course, there's no right or wrong. If you have a bias, you have a bias. It's always completely fine, of course.
Are
Okay, some more people joining in. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to talk about it. If there are more people in joining later today, that's also fine. They could either watch back or ask me a question about it. Okay, main thing is we of course had a crazy opening to the week where we saw a very high impulse higher for the dollar index. And with that being said, with that push higher, I think that a lot of people were bullish. However, yesterday we had an inside bar on the daily, as you can see. And with that inside bar, we are now trading lower, and we took out Monday's range low. So we have manipulated one side of the range. And when we take a look at a deeper analysis out of it, we can see that with the manipulation at the low, we are trading inside of this daily inversion gap. And with that daily inversion gap, we can also see that we have created this dealing range on the daily time frame. I will map it out for you. And you can see that this daily key level is trading at a discount. We took out Monday range low, and we are now displacing away from it, and we are trading higher again. Personally, I do think that this entire leg down going into the daily inversion gap, I do think that this is the manipulation for the week and that we are going to trade higher from now on. Does that mean that you should be full margin long right now? No, that's also not the case. Because when we take a look at the intermediate term time frame, which is the hourly 4-hour time frame, we can see that we are still in a bearish order flow. We can clearly see that the bearish PD arrays are getting respected and that we were trading on the way down, taking out the crucial liquidity point, trading below the weekly opening price into the daily key level. So what do you want to see right now to confirm that we are going from one side to the other? That is the violation of bearish PD arrays. When we take a look at this established range, we can see that we have hourly fair value gaps right over here, which are trading at a premium. Let's draw it out like this. If dollar is able to push through these bearish PD arrays, so if we can get something like this, can get a push through the bearish PD arrays, and then we can utilize them as support. We will be looking for this as the low of the week, and then we should see the continuation higher towards the buy side liquidity level, which is Monday high in this case, and potentially even higher, because overall, and of course it is not necessary to reach it this week, especially since we had a pretty significant retracement lower at first. We could easily trade towards higher prices, but that should be later on. This is the overall draw on liquidity on the daily time frame. So for now, I remain bullish on dollar. I do think that a lot of the people are now flipping their bias towards a bearish bias on dollar. However, I'm personally not. I'm looking for buys, but we need to see a violation of bearish PD arrays before we can get into buys itself. Why do I think, in addition, that this entire leg down is the manipulation move? That is mainly due to bonds. Bonds, you can see that we are clearly in bearish order flow. We are simply bearish on bonds. We did take out this daily level. However, we are still bearish on bonds in my opinion, and as long as we are bearish on bonds, I'm looking personally at this 111.17 area this should mean that we are going to see lower prices on foreign currencies, because as you can see, in the meantime that euro and other foreign currencies were trading higher, the bonds were trading lower, indicating that either dollar or the foreign currencies were manipulating at first. In my opinion, and the overall trend and the market structure that the dollar is showing us, I do believe that we are going to see a manipulation move from the dollar end, and that we are going to see higher prices at the later end of the week. So in a nutshell, that is how I'm viewing the overall bias on dollar. How does that reflect to euro dollar? Well, it's actually the same thing, right? We have created an SMT divergence right at these highs because EG is extremely weak right now. And due to the weakness of EG, we saw a push higher from GU. I'm still bearish on EG, so if we are looking for shorts, I do want to favor euro shorts over EG shorts. What do we want to see? Here again as well, we want to see the violation of bullish PD arrays. So if price is able to trade below these fair value gaps right over here, and then we can utilize them as resistance for price to trade down lower towards the sell side liquidity pool right over here. If we are extremely bearish, then we can also potentially look for this 108 level. Let me see what it is exactly. At 108.814. This is the daily target, which is also in line with the target on the dollar. This is in short what I will be looking for the remainder of the week, mainly on euro and on dollar. Of course, we could also easily reflect that into other currency pairs such as USD/CHF, where we are trading within this range, traded below this low. So we have a high time frame range trading into a low time frame range where we are order pairing below this low. So price could seek buy side liquidity right over here. Again, we need to see if we get the confirmation to see if we can get from sell side of the curve into buy side of the curve, but then we need to see the violation of bullish PD arrays so that we can utilize them as support for price to trade it higher. So this is another asset that you could be looking at. UJ is the same. UJ is showing a little bit more of less willingness to trade higher. So USD/CHF is the better looking pair for longs. You can clearly see in the thickness and the more engulfingness of the candles that USD/CHF is more willing to trade higher in comparison towards a USD/JPY, which is clearly lacking strength in after taking out the liquidity. If we are going after those key levels, you want to see some sort of an immediate feedback into the market. If you get that feedback into the market, you have more clarity overall if price is willing to move into a certain direction or not. USD/CAD lacking, so also not interested. So mainly look at USD/CHF longs and Euro USD shorts, which is the main thing that I will be looking for the remainder of the week. But today's daily candle closure is going to be crucial for that. If we are going to see a significant body closure below Monday's low, that would invalidate the bullish idea for me, and then I would look for more sells on the dollar index. But for now, with how the current daily candle is forming, I am going to remain with my bullish bias on dollar. However, that is also immediately my invalidation of the current plan that I have. So that's it actually, in short. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the chat down below. Of course, you can ask me anything. Everything is cool and okay. And if you like these kinds of videos, make sure to smash that like button, since it extremely helps out to grow the channel, which is of course great. BTC and XAU. Gold, my view is pretty clear. I've actually drawn it out already. This is the daily time frame. I'm not keen on shorting gold. I would not suggest you doing that, since we can, this is such a bullish market and we are consolidating here. We have equal lows right over here and this daily key level in a discount, reaching out also into OTE of the range itself. So this is the area where you actually want to frame potential long setups and look for continuation into new all-time highs. So dip into the daily gap, and then I will be looking for buys. However, currently this is a no trade area, since we are trading at equilibrium of the range. This is not something that I can trade personally. BTC USD, let's see. We saw a pretty significant push. Let's see. We can clearly see that we are consolidating. We are trading inside Monday's candle. Like, this is the range. We had an inside bar. Personally, I would suggest you to wait for price to manipulate lower. Let it trade into discount, and then you can look for continuation higher. Main area that's interesting. This 4-hour gap at 89.7k-ish. That actually looks quite good. So this is the area that you can look for buys. So let it take out Monday low into the discount of the daily range, into the 4-hour gap, and then you can look for buy setups. Is that clear, the Emperor? is there anything that you guys want to see? Still looking for the breakdown. Excuse me. Okay, since there is not really any viewers anymore, I'm going to close off the stream. I hope that everything was cleared and that you enjoyed it as well. For now, I would like to wish you guys a very nice rest of your day. Bye bye.